first of all, could I kind of just get your basic background, kind of family dynamics growing up, and maybe what parish you grew up going to?
Yeah. So I grew up in Celestine, Indiana. Parish is St. Isidore. And my mom and dad are Brian and Gina Riecker. And then I grew up with 5 siblings. I'm the third oldest of 6. So I just grew up really close to my family. So the oldest is my sister Jasmine. Then my older brother Cameron. Then it's me. Then I have younger brother Ty, younger sister Cassidy, and a younger brother Destin.
And did you grow up like cradle Catholic? Were you raised Catholic growing up? Kind of just that kind of background there?
Yeah. So we were raised Catholic. We went to Mass every Sunday and all of that. Just very close as a family. We were all, we kind of did half and half in terms of schooling. So I was homeschooled until 7th grade, and then I went to, public school basically the rest of the way through. So,
were there any adults, like in your youth, parents, extended family, clergy, priests, anything like that influenced you or maybe helped you know that priesthood was a possibility for you?
So my older brother Cameron was a big factor. Sort of had after high school, after graduated, I sort of had a lot of things going on in my life, and Cameron, he was just a big influence in that. He was very much trying to get me more so into the faith, and sort of just doing all those things. After high school, he basically got me to do an Exodus 90 program with him, where you're just praying together every day and sort of engaging in fraternity and those types of things. And basically after about 40 days of that, I really just had a desire to become a priest. So it was very sudden, kind of out of nowhere. I didn't really have anything like that before. So he's one for sure. My grandma Ruth, she was, she died when I was 16. And sort of, I just remember being close with her at her hour of death, and I just really had a sense of the peace that she had, and I really sensed God in her and through her, and just kind of in the room that she was in, and that was sort of wasn't like a tragedy. She was she's going to see God, and I really got a sense of that from her holiness. And then I think seeing Father Eugene Schmidt, he was there. I just remember his presence was it was very appreciated by me, and I just sensed something with that of just my grandma and him and sort of my whole family being there. That made a large impact on me. So I just think my mom also, she's just always been a faithful lady and a good example. She would always get us to pray together as a family, and just make sure we got to Mass on Sunday. And she was very interested in our life of faith and just how we lived it out and stuff like that. And she's always very supportive of me. I would say those 3 in particular.
Okay. And you had kind of mentioned the call kind of coming out of nowhere. So it's not something you really had felt or entertained growing up. It was more of like at that point that you started to discern and feel that priesthood was a possible call for you.
Yeah, very much so. I was kind of just in a spot. I kind of had a lot of freedom, and just in terms of just out of high school, I recently kind of gotten out of a relationship. I just kind of, just didn't have anything pulling me one way or the other, so to speak. So I kind of had to, I was just looking what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. So these questions were already kind of on my mind. And then, I started praying, having a real daily routine, real daily encounter with the sacraments, mass, going to confession more often. I think, just sort of through that process, I just really felt a real intimacy with God and with Christ. I think, it was just kind of like a continual process of that. And so by day 40-ish, whenever it was, about halfway through, I was really just, I was like, this is totally something I want to do. Like, it was just kind of sudden and pretty intense. Like, this is real. This is something I want to go after, I want to strive and I want to see at least. And so, very sudden and real intense.
And then from that point, can you talk a little bit about just how you got to seminary from that point, and just kind of what that experience has been like for you?
Yeah. So basically after I sort of had that initial call or initial desire for that, Father Tyler Timbarge, he was actually giving a talk at Celestine, my home parish, and I didn't really know anything about him. I didn't know like what a vocation director is or anything like that, but he was there, and I think he had mentioned actually the House of Discernment that was opening up, and this was the second year, going into the second year, and so I was like, oh, that's cool. Let me see about that. So I met with him over the summer, and he basically thought I'd be a great candidate, and filled out that application. And so I lived at the House of Discernment for a year. That was fall of 2019, and then spring of 2020. So I was living there and working part-time, and just sort of growing my knowledge of the faith, because it was all kind of new to me, and I kind of have this renewed interest. And so just my experience of the time in the House of Discernment was very formative. I kind of took on a lot of new things that I just kind of was oblivious to, like serving or reading at Mass or any number of those things, and a lot more service, just a lot more idea of being generous with my time and serving other people, and also just seeing the daily life of a priest, because Father Tyler was living there at that time, and me and a couple other guys just kind of got to get insight into what does it look like to be a priest on a day-to-day basis, and what do they do? So just through all of that. And then after that, I went to still very on fire about the faith. And so I decided to apply to Bishop Simon Berthet College Seminary, which is in Indianapolis. And went there, and I was there for 3 years. And just really, I think I experienced that. That was when I received a lot of intellectual formation, probably the most, where I was just really learning about the philosophy and history of the church and different things like that, but also how to live in community. There was about, I think 30 guys when I first got there. So that was kind of the mix. And, it was, we kind of had a mantra that it's not a perfect place, but it's a happy place. And that was very much my experience. It was just a good time. I met a lot of friends, made a lot of really good connections with a lot of the guys. I'll always hold that time as very dear to me. It was, you're just sort of growing up as a kid, I think I was 20 when I first got in. And so, looking back now, I was like, man, I was young and kind of reckless, but, it was very formative in a way. So, after that, I graduated, I believe, in 2023. And so, I made the decision to move on. And I just talking with my bishop and vocation director, I thought Kendrick Lennon Seminary in St. Louis would be a good fit for me. And just kind of looking into them and seeing what they prioritize in their own formation, I was really impressed. So I applied there. And, had three years of formation now, going on 3 years. And yeah, I was just really kind of blown away by the intellectual formation that they have there, as well as the human formation. They very much emphasize that you have to, as you're growing in holiness, but you also have to, you have to incorporate all the parts of the person to really be an effective minister, an effective pastor, an effective priest. And so, just going into your own history, your own wounds or anything like that, and really just being able to, have Christ kind of always speaking the truth into different aspects of your life, and kind of finding ways that you find healing in that and where to grow from there. So, they really just move with you very well. And, I was just kind of blown away by how much I was able to kind of grow into my own masculinity, into my own sense of how I'm going to minister to the people of God, how I'm going to do all these things with Christ. So, going, like I mentioned, going on my 3rd year, and I've just been really pleased with all the progress that people have helped me make throughout the years, and just being able to look back and be very thankful for the time, and also being able to look ahead and just see that, I got a lot more growth to do, a lot more growing. It doesn't stop once you leave seminary or anything, but also just being really pleased with some of the progress that people have, they've helped me make. So,
I guess, I don't know if you had, going back to before you maybe entered seminary, if you had any idea of what it would be like, but if so, or if not, just kind of, has it been kind of what you expected it would be like so far, or has it been a lot different? Can you talk a little bit about maybe expectations versus what it's actually been like for you?
Yeah, sure. So I guess I kind of didn't have too many expectations. I really wasn't sure what it was going to be like. So the first year I entered Brute, that was COVID had just kind of hit, and so we were just, I think, getting out of the lockdown, and we were able to make a short visit over the summer. But nobody was there. So it was kind of one of those things where it's kind of a ghost town. So I got to meet the rector and the vice rector. But other than that, So I didn't have too many expectations. I guess I sort of thought that, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know if I was going to meet people I liked or if I was going to make friendships, really. I didn't know if any of these guys were going to be cool or, I could have fun with them or whatever. And so maybe I was kind of viewing it a little more negative than when I was initially coming in. But when I got there, I was very pleasantly surprised that all the guys they're all there for the same reason, right? We all want to get close to Christ and sort of discern the call that we've initially received. And so, once I found that out, it was easy to just kind of slip right in and just be, one of the guys and, just kind of growing into that. So, it was a very good experience overall.
Could you talk just a little bit about your, because I know you have, your summer assignments at various parishes, maybe what those have been like and maybe how seeing, different pastors up close has maybe impacted you as you prepare for priesthood?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've had 2 summer assignments. The first one I had was at St. Philip's with Father Ryan Hildebrand. And spent the summer over there going into first theology. So, I think what really impacted me was just his, he had a real capacity to explain things very well to me of sort of just the different aspects of a parish, living as a parish priest. And he's very real and down to earth about everything, which I really appreciated. He doesn't sugarcoat things. He doesn't, he's direct and he's honest and he'll give you exactly what he thinks. And I've always appreciated that kind of method. And he's also very accommodating. I'm just like, I really experienced how with me, he understood like, hey, I was in seminary too. And, I was your age and I was probably at a similar stage of where you're at. And so he just really worked with me on all those things. was able to just show me what it looks like to be a pastor. And what I experienced when he was being pastor and just all of that was, yeah, he was able just very much to empathize with people in a way that, I just hadn't seen before. And I'd never really, thought of this was kind of the first time I met him over the summer, but yeah, just getting to know him and how he was authentically himself and also just living holiness through that. I got a real sense of stability and constancy in the way he was, which I really liked. Because I think, when you're you're sort of exploring this vocation and you're seeing if this is for me or not, there's a worry that can come up where you're like, I'm going to have to change everything about myself. I'm going to have to sort of clear the board here, and we're just going to have to start from the ground up and rebuild everything. And it's like, no, like God calls real men, like with real history, real past, real all these things, right? And those things don't necessarily get destroyed; they get renewed, and they sort of, they come out in unique ways, different personalities, and that was really what I experienced. And he was always himself, especially around parishioners. Whether it was just me and him in the rectory, or if it was just we were at a dinner, got invited to some family's house, or different things like that. He was always himself, and I think people really experienced God through him in that way. So, and so that was my first parish assignment. And then the second one I had recently, I was in Hobstadt. I was at St. Peter and Paul and St. James. And that was with Father Andrew Thomas, who's the pastor. And he's funny. he just really showed me a lot of the administrative and the practical sides of things. You really do have to be a good decision maker. You have to be willing to make decisions with just directness and have a clear direction in things, but also to be able to hear people very well and to receive different feedback and things of that nature. I thought he always did that very well. Whenever he was listening to somebody, no matter whoever was talking to him, I always sensed the thing that he was really listening to them. Like he was never blowing people off or doing anything like that. He was always just like, oh yeah, I hear you. I hear exactly what you're saying. And thank you for telling me that kind of thing. And so, I just experienced that he was able to receive people very well, and while still maintaining just having the direction of a pastor of like, here's where we're moving, here's what I hope, here's what I want, but also I'm very open to your feedback and whatever you have to say. So he very much balanced that, and he also had a very great sense of where he should be. So there was never a question with him of indecisiveness of should I do this or should I do this kind of thing. Like, no, he knew where he needed to be. He knew what the people needed to hear. He knew sort of like the exactness of things. The precision, I think, was really impressive to me. And he was very also, he's really good at facilitating fraternity amongst brother priests. That was something also I really experienced in him, where priests would just come over and we'd just have a dinner and we just all hang out together, maybe play a game or something like that. And he very much valued that, and he made the time to make that happen, which a lot of times that can kind of fall through the cracks. So and just over the time there, those are the things that really stood out to me about his own ministry and his own pastoral leadership and ability to teach, to sanctify, and to govern. So
And then since you entered seminary just through the course of your time there, can you talk just about the personal side as far as like, have you noticed, gradual changes in your personal faith life over time, or have there been certain moments, I guess, don't get into specifics necessarily, but just how has the process looked for you as you've, grown in holiness over the course of seminary?
I think for the most part, it's been very much slow and steady. It's been a lot of just, the Lord kind of pointing out, revealing to me different aspects of my life that he's inviting me to grow in. I think, just a continual sense of, just gratitude and generosity were kind of the two things that kind of, just kept coming up. And also just always having security and, just really finding a place and a stronghold of trust in the Lord and his providence. And also just like how he's working in the little things a lot. It's not just big events. It's not just sudden, I don't know, very intense encounters, which I kind of had initially. It's very much so in the day-to-day, in the little things, in the little annoyances, the little, times of boredom, or maybe the little crosses, I think would be a good way to say that. He's just working in that, and to never doubt that, and to put a lot of faith in that. Something I kind of pray with a lot is, he who is faithful in little will be faithful in much, that kind of thing. Just to not overestimate or underestimate that, and that has come up, and just kind of experiencing, even when I wasn't really aware of God in my past and my own time, sort of before I was really active in my faith, is that even in those times, Jesus was always there, like he wasn't, I wasn't abandoned by God, and in his own providence and his own way that I maybe didn't even recognize at the time, he was leading me, just like slowly, step by step, just getting me to where I needed to be. That's another thing of just, you're right where you need to be right now. So just recognizing that the Lord very much works in time. Allowing that to be a reality in my life, and a reality in my formation in seminary of, I can get frustrated with my own self, and I can be a little hard on myself, and the Lord isn't actually doing that. He's very patient, and he's always leading me in hope and in greater confidence. I think that's really the way I've experienced, I think, the most, of just that steady and progressive revelation of God. So
And just talk a little bit, we're about a month away from your diaconate ordination. Just a little bit about, has it kind of set in for you, or kind of how you're preparing for that ordination next month?
I think it still kind of hasn't set in. It's kind of shocking. Just in the sense of, there's a line in seminary where, oh gosh, how does it go? It's like, the days are really slow and long, but the weeks and the months go by like nothing. So, there's a weird experience where you're like, man, I've just been in seminary forever. Like, this day is just going on, and like, I have all this stuff, And then there's the other experience of where, like, oh, the entire month of February is just gone. Like, it went by like that, So when you start looking back, you're like, man, that was quick. So there's kind of the two elements of like, man, I feel like I've been in seminary forever. Like, that is most of my life, is what it feels like. But also the experience of like, holy cow, that just like flew by. There's that. But also, I think I'm really excited for a new, I guess just a new direction. Because seminary, as great as it is, as much as it prepares you for becoming a priest of God one day, there's also an aspect of where it sort of doesn't prepare you. Because you're going to be in one place, one general area with a particular people, with a particular bishop, all of that. But when you're in seminary, you're sort of away from that. You're sort of, kind of in your own just formative area. And so, there's just an aspect of, I'm going to meet a lot of people. I'm going to have to grow into new areas that I probably haven't exercised too much as a leader, as a minister, as those kind of things. And also just being prepared to understand that I don't know everything, and that I'm going to have to be ready to have humility with just learning new things, and being able to soak up information and that kind of thing, and getting to know people. And so, I think also there's the excitement and just like the definitive choice of the promises of a deacon, of continual chastity, celibate chastity, simplicity of life, and just respect and obedience. I think that's going to be exciting to me. I'm really not nervous. It's more of just like, I don't know what I look like yet in this position, in this role, in this calling, this vocation, but I'm very excited to see what that looks like and the fruit that the Lord will produce in my ministry, in myself and others. It's almost all excitement, which I think is good.